What's up, guys? My name's Tom, and I'm filling in for Tom Crown just for this intro. We have some crazy, hype, awesome news. Maybe not for the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin charts, but for our community. We do have some spice going on, and today's going to be a good day. So, let's get into it. Boom. Mic drop. First things first, crownanalysis.com. Really interesting story. This is some big news I wanted to share with you guys. Apparently a few years ago, someone was using it as like a scam or something site. I don't know. This was many years ago. And Google blacklisted the URL. So you're kind of wondering why the site wasn't doing so well. And after vicious appeals and negotiations with Google, we are officially unblacklisted. We are at the top of the search. If you look at it on Google, Bing, whatever, any search engine, you'll find it now. Gotta check it out, guys. We have had some awesome contributors, amazing articles written. Shout out to everyone who's been contributing. If you're interested in writing yourself and being published, join the Discord, send me a DM, and we'll set you up. Coin Chick joining us. We have Intro to Cryptos or Doug. We have Mr. Poppy, Dave Digital. Awesome articles. These aren't our typical content or my typical content. These things are much more broad. They can cover different topics, not quite as technical, some more technical, huge range. So check it out, search it up on Google, get that traffic flowing, bookmark it. You know what to do, boys and girls. Crownanalysis.com. I will be at NFT Talon in May. I think I'll be there the 5th to the 10th. If you are in the EU, I would love to meet some of our EU fans. Links for everything in the video description below. Use my links for some discounts and such. These tickets are pretty actually affordably priced. Bitcoin at 23 in Miami after Estonia. Gonna be there partying in Miami. Come join me. These tickets a little bit more expensive. A lot bit more expensive, but honestly, if you can afford it, go grab the tickets. If you can't, I highly recommend, honestly, just going to Miami. If you get a hotel room at that time, the satellite events are awesome. I love seeing you guys out there. Love meeting all of you guys in the community. You are the best. You have made this channel grow, and you've made it successful, and I appreciate all of you. Follow me on Twitter at TomCrownCrypto. Let me hit that Twitter button. This is the big news as well. It's just a hype day, guys. There's just so much coolness. We saw some guy earlier named Tom did the intro. Probably friends with Tom Powell. But this is what I wanted to share with you. I didn't know a more elegant way to do it. Our first, as a community, our first video on any platform has hit 1 million views. And unfortunately, it's on TikTok. But still huge. I'm still hyped about it. Freaking awesome. We've never gotten anything close to that. And I'm pretty stoked. I'm very stoked. So, without further ado, let's get into a little bit more of the TA, a little bit more of the crypto. We're going to talk, why is crypto crashing? Is crypto crashing? Is the bull run over? We're going to take a look at Ethereum, what's going on with staking and unstaking. And last but not least, after going over some charts, what WTF is PEPE? A question I had to ask myself, actually. I've seen a lot of, honestly, what appear to be bot comments on Twitter. I'm sure there's some real ones in there. But we're going to look a little bit at what PEPE is. I honestly don't know. I'm going to be doing this live with you. Remember, guys, nothing I say today is financial advice. Please don't interpret it as that. I am simply going through my trades, going through my analysis, and I'm just sharing that live with you. Make your own decisions. My only hope is that you can take away some value and incorporate it into your own analysis, etc. So the goal is for you to succeed, not for you to blindly copy me. If you do that, you're probably going to lose money. I'm not going to lie. Let's go over some really just quick stuff. I have only shorts open at the moment. It would be hard to have a long open. I did get stopped out. I did lose some money on some longs that were open. However, I had them hedged here. About half of Bitcoin from 30.3. Bitcoin now trading at 29.3 for a nice 15% profit, $400 gain there. Not really huge. Does offset some of the losses there. I have another, so just real quick, this was 5x. I have a 10x open on Fairdesk. We'll probably do a giveaway. I'm in a good mood. We'll do a giveaway from Fairdesk. We'll give away some money. I don't know how much, but I got a much better entry. You guys remember me going over this in the last stream, probably at 31,000. I did have bigger orders, and I was saying, man, I really hope we do see higher because I went in a little too soft at 31. This one, up 53%. However, due to the much smaller size, only about 170 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. Moving on over to another exchange, not one of our sponsors, but heck, Mexi is great for altcoins. They have all the altcoins in the world. You can use my link if you want to sign up. Do have a short open on Ethereum from 2,100 currently, 28% profit, about 153. You can look over here and you can see I did get pretty wrecked. And you definitely should be asking yourselves, why did I get wrecked? I mean, we're not down from March's start, but this account was at 2,000. Now it's at 1,300. So Tom was doing some not so great trading. I am just like everyone else. I'm a normal person, and thus I make mistakes. I fall trap and victims to the same things you all do. I just try to learn from them. So what I learned in this is when I identify a fractal I feel confident in, I shouldn't bet against it as much. That's my lesson learned. This trade up about 160, but I do, in the sake of openness, I lost, I don't even know, like 600 maybe, 600-ish on longs getting closed out is what it is. Tis what it is. Let's close these. Really quick, let's look at Ethereum. I wanted to update because last time we looked at this was totally different. The first time we looked at it, totally different. This is the Ethereum Shanghai update and the staking and unstaking. I'll link that once. It's a really weird URL. There's no point of even saying it out loud. But what we saw initially was people depositing faster than or staking faster than unstaking, and net more Ethereum was locked up. April 15th, we saw a really big unlocking, and we can see the total trend then actually swung to more unlocked than locked, or the net more circulating supply in Ethereum. I don't, however, really think this is super related to the recent price action, and we will get into... I don't want to say that we called it last stream, but price is exactly where we were looking last stream. And in fact, does have room to move to the downside and still stay valid. But I am keeping an eye on this. We saw the withdrawals or unstakings on Ethereum kind of settle down in the last 48 hours. And we are seeing some heavier deposits. So links in the chat. Maybe I'll throw that in the video description. But it's just something to keep an eye on. Something getting me pretty excited today, and you guys know I love this metric as of recently. Funding for Bitcoin perps, for the perp swaps. Perp swaps. All across the board, except for CoinEx Bitcoin margin for some reason. Negative across the board. These aren't as heavy as I would like to see, as I almost always say, but the highlights, Binance actually in negative funding, aka traders are opening shorts at a pace that is exceeding longs, and thus shorts are paying longs to stay open. And in general, this is a bullish sign for price action in the short term. What I like here is that it's across the board green. I don't know what CoinEx is smoking. Not that good, 420. By the way, smash the likes, subscribes, share the stream, vote in the poll, engage. If you're on mobile, hit those little react heart things, you know, whatever. More engagement equals YouTube shows the stream to more people, and our community keeps growing. So I forgot to even say that today. Keep it up. I'm going to be reading the chat before we get into the charts here. But this funding is bullish, and I like it. And even CoinEx's, whatever it's smoking, predicted next rate is actually very negative. So for some reason, lots of longs open on CoinEx in the last 8 hours. But since then, the market has responded by many, many more shorts opening. This is overall bullish. Now, I don't necessarily think it's a smart idea to take this as price is going to go up from here right now, and we're going to get into why in a little bit. But what we want to see is this funding continue to drive negative. We want to see perpetual swaps and contracts opening short, because that acts as liquidity. We've talked about a short squeeze taking us up into the 40s. I've been saying for months, 48K before May. Man, we're running out of time. But there's still time. It's still possible. And I may just be wrong. That happens. Sorry, guys, that happens. We usually look at max pain prices, and I already looked at these today. There's just not a lot going on here. Max pain today, 29.7. Tomorrow, 29. It's not a lot of change. Very close to price, so not a lot of update. We're going to look at PEPE. But we're not going to do this first. We are going to do this later in the stream, simply because, I don't know, people are talking about it, people are Googling it. I haven't done any research. We'll do a little bit together live. Honestly, my first take, this is not going to be what people want to hear. It really just seems like a meme coin pump and dump, but I may be proved wrong. We're going to give this a little bit more of a fair assessment later in the stream. One thing of note I will say, I am a man who appreciates class, and I appreciate a 42,690,000,000 circulating supply. That's pretty legit. But we'll get into that. Oh yeah, sign up with Fairdesk. You'll get this screen. Use my link. We'll be doing a giveaway. Forgot about that. So let's get into some charts. Let's get into what we were looking at in just a moment. You guys might remember this from last stream. This is some alpha. This has not been invalidated. I will admit it doesn't look as much. Doesn't look as much like the fractal with yesterday's green candle. This was looking almost identical. We're gonna go over this again too. We're gonna be looking at the dollar, gold, dominance, PEPE, Ethereum. We'll take a peek at stocks. I have a little trade update on INJ from something we placed last stream. ADA, maybe ARB and Zen if we have time. So as we get into the analysis here, and the viewership is rocketing, is mooning, because you guys are engaging. Let's double down on that engagement. I have a poll going on. Is the bull run over? Yes, hold me, Papa Tom, at 41%. Only 250 votes. Let's get this up to like 1,000 votes at least. And a no LMAO. I'm siding with the no LMAOs here. However, with the caveat, we don't know yet. I haven't looked at the charts this morning. But we may have a little bit more downside here, and we'll go over where our pattern of bullishness invalidates for the fractal and where it invalidates for the greater bull run in general. So without further ado, if you're in chat today and you enjoyed the intro, and it's April 19th, tomorrow is April 20th. The date will be 4/20. I have a doctor's appointment, but I'll probably try to sneak in the stream. If any of those things, if you appreciated it, smash the like, subscribe, shares, engage with the stream, and I'm going to shout out some people who are here. So if you're here, let me know. We have had one new subscriber during the stream, and that is our champion for today, Hector Bernal. What's up, Hector? Shout out to you, my friend. You'll notice Lord Jarky, our crypto Santa Claus, gifted, I think, a total maybe 3,000 over the course of the last 6 months, but about 1,200 or 1,300 memberships. So about 1,300 of you got an email from YouTube saying you've been gifted a membership to our channel. If you take a peek at these emojis, you'll see we got a lot of new emojis. We're still working on them. We're still improving them, but we do have Lord Jarky himself as an emoji. We have a nice 420 thumbs up, and my favorite, the old Tom Crown. Hesitant old Tom Crown. But if you're in the chat today, let me know. Put something in the chat. Say hello. Put an emoji if you've been gifted one. I want to see who's here. What's up, Jonah? What's up, Oh My, Pump, Rockstar Cola Games, Mats, V2, Robert. How you doing, Robert B? Likes. I like that. Sue Deep, Real Housewife, Crypto. One of my favorite names. One of my favorite people. You need a crypto Santa gift. I wish YouTube would enable it that you could give them directly, but you can't. It's just randomized. You need to make sure that they're enabled. That should prompt you when you join the live stream. And it also says whoever engages has a higher probability of getting gifted membership. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, hitting those little react, heart, emoji, whatever TikTok-y things. That will boost up your chances. Your sub sent 6K. Ryan Lamosco, you must be an OG here then, my friend. We've been streaming live 4 years. And honestly, I've grown a lot as a trader, as a content creator, as a human. And I hope, and I've seen it in our community, you guys growing alongside too. So shout out to you, bro. What's up, BG? David Brum, my man. OT4 around the world. Cryptogenic, NBF4, BCN, Lessips. These are all names that are here every day, and you guys are the core of our channel, our foundation. What's up, Low Mips? Oh my, Alex Wells, No One, Crypto Rancher, Greedy21, Oh no, Y2K, my man. Frederico Pereira. I butchered that. Crypto Junkie, Donato Cabrera, Visharts, my dude. I saw Dean earlier. What's up, Dean? Who else is here? Let me catch up. 808 Hawk, OG of this channel as well. Good to see ya. It's Baked Mike. What's up, Baked Mike? LFG. Drop some of the LFGs in chats, dude. I love these emojis. If you have good ideas for emojis that we should add, I'm going to get rid of some of the coins that are on there. We do have in the Discord a little area for that. If you have any ideas, concepts, we'll put them into practice. What's up, Waro, Sam, James, Sean Regenton, Corey, C. Ron, Coins Check. Let me make sure that's a real Coins Check. I don't know if you ever confirmed that. Did you ever confirm that? Coins Check, that YouTube account was created in April of this year. Literally 2 days ago. So I don't know if I can't give this account a wrench. I was going to, if it's a real Coins Check, DM me on Twitter and I'll set you up with I'll give you a wrenchy. One of our contributors to crownanalysis.com, Coins Check. I love her articles. They're very relatable. They're very human. They're not like me, robotic and mathy. What's up, Oat? Oh, I already did that one. Chris Pax. What's up, Mang? Marcelo. Andro Tahat. Who else is here? Emis. What's up, Emis? How you doing? If you haven't subscribed yet, help us beat Bitcoin to 100K. Smash that subscribe button right now. We're just doing some shout outs, getting the engagement up, and we're going to jump into the charts here in just a minute. What's up, Jamie? Trade Intuition, of course, my Meng. Congrats on the blue name. Who am I missing? Netstar. Vesemir, definitely an OG. Juggernaut of Crypto. Picking up some medical supplies. Oh, you know it, baby. Davian Silva. What's up, Meng? Barry the Rave. Love that name. Got some dry powder. Buy now or hold your horses. We're about to get into that. Let me just finish this. Timmy 313, Rico S, OG, of course, no need to say that. Skip Factor, Dave Digital, another contributor. Shout out, my friend. Raz Van, Mark Harris, Long Mountain, Andrew Williams, Nestor 27. Hello, Pepe. Sprouksy, my man. Adam Buzzard. We got some good names today. Sue Deep, showing the love. Ryan Sweeney, Big Hands, Little Spoon. I like that. That's not the story of my life, but I like that. Rohit Raj, Crypto Billy, good to see you, brother. Craigton C, every day I see you. I appreciate you. Paul Wood, Paper Planes, Derek for Reals. Hey, yo. Who else is here? So there's got to be a few more. We do have 2 subscribers now from the stream. What's up, Tom Wen? How you doing, brother? Great name, handsome name. You got to love me some Toms. They're good peeps. David Cernek 5, sorry for the dip you sold. No problem, brother. No problem. Yeah, Madcat Pat, what's up, brah? Frosted Flake. Good to see everybody here. Alan, Daniel, Trader Timmy T. Looks cool with the shades. If you're just tuning in, if you didn't catch the beginning of this stream, I highly recommend you do. You might poop yourself. You might crap your pants. Put on your diapers before you do. Huge surprise. Huge surprise. You'll never guess. Great to hear from you. You'll be at Tallinn in Estonia yourself. Andrew, I hope to see you there, my friend. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait. I've never been to Estonia. I haven't been to Europe in a while. I'm not looking forward to the 14-hour flight, but yeah, I'll get over it. I'll do some tweeting. Justin Todd, how you doing, brah? T-Bone, Mark Harris, Kush, Tron. Ooh, don't want to miss anybody. G-Man, Dean Putin, I already got you. J Bond, Crypto 420, blaze it. No one, William Taylor. All right. Papa Tom's here. Don't worry. Papa Tom actually made a little appearance earlier in the show. Loving the engagement, loving the hype. Let's get the likes up. We have 200 likes? That can't be right. We must get 420 likes, but you have time. We have time. There are some people out there, maybe not contributing the likes that they should. It costs you nothing. Just pick up your mouse, put your finger on your mouse or mobile device, click that thumbs up, click subscribe, join our family, then yeah, might as well jump in the Discord. Okay. Chilling early. In South Africa, shout out to South Africa. Slash the smike button. All right. I mean, whatever you want. How should we do this? Should we do Fractal first or should, let's do Fractal first. Then we'll do like the market cipher kind of indicator TA. So this is more beyond technical analysis. This is what people have dubbed fractals. If you don't know what a fractal is, let me see. Can I just do fractal GIF? Let's do fractal GIF. Here we go. Just pulling up the first thing that shows up. This is a fractal. A fractal is simply an infinitely repeating pattern. So in trading, well, they are maybe more on the astrology side of trading or the tea leaf reading. They are something that is acknowledged in trading, and essentially what it is a pattern that repeats. there really is very little definition as to what they are. I think this, in my Tom Crown definition, it would be a pattern that repeats. But the only real defining factor other than repetition is that you see the pattern play out on smaller and smaller time frames. That's really the only like definition part. So we have these two areas highlighted here. We have a white box and a yellow box. The yellow box at the bottom of it is roughly where I view this as invalidated. If price goes below at this point 28,329 and especially 26.5, we can say, haha, Tom was wrong again, and we can all roll one up, crack a brew, and laugh about it. But why do we have these boxes here? Hopefully this is still the same thing and I have them on this one. There we go. The reason being, you'll notice that this is on the 4-hour chart, that's on the daily. That does fit the definition of seeing a pattern on a smaller time frame. That doesn't guarantee in any means. And let's be real, trading is risk. And nothing is guaranteed in trading. Doesn't guarantee bottoms in or something like that here. Doesn't guarantee it will continue to play out. But we identified this kind of collaboratively as a group. It was something I was looking at, and then some of our OG members like Rico, shout out Rico, pointed out, hey man, it was interesting. He pointed out the yellow box, and I had been watching the white box. And when he looked at it, I was like, oh man, I almost forgot about that. Awesome catch. Let's start with the concessions here. The lower time frame, or the current price action, is starting to look a lot less like the yellow box in the past. It is. The yellow box in the past was much more of a single drop, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same. And in fact, you'll probably never find a fractal that is exactly the same. So what I'm going to go by at this point is above 3,100 or 31,000, probably invalidated. Below the same target, 28.3 invalidated. But why is this important? This is important because we had very similar price action right here. This is in June of 2020 to what we saw in late March, early April of this year. So what we were looking for was a move up to a higher high. Move up to a higher high, a pullback, higher high again, just slightly, and then a lower high, which painted out basically the Bart Simpson pattern that we all know and love. There he is, telling you to eat his shorts. The important piece of this is that lows were not breached. That's pretty much how I view this. Lows not breached, so we would only expect to see higher lows once we maybe settle down at 28.3. If you guys are thinking, Tom, how low do you think it's going to go? Probably closer to 28.3. Probably. It could play out a different way and just go up or just dump through, but using the pattern or using this potential fractal as a guide, that's what we'd be looking for, an entry around 28.3, maybe 28.5. So why is this exciting? Why is Tom looking for it? And what does this have to do with the current crypto sell-off? Well, in the last stream when we were looking at this, we essentially identified that this was coming next, that we would see a drop. And as long as that drop didn't break the previous low, or didn't break, I'll say, the fair value gap of the run-up, Fractal's still on. And the reason it's exciting is a lot of you probably weren't around in crypto at this time. Maybe you were. At this point, if you were, you're an OG, I think. This was March of 2020's crash, when Bitcoin nearly went back to its previous bear market low before rallying, painting this white box, and then this yellow box. So here's what we would look for in the next days, maybe, is a low to kind of... we want to see a low hit, probably closer to 28.5, and then what looks like distribution. This is what we had here. A low, didn't break your structure, but what looks like distribution, kind of lazy, unenergetic movement that trades mostly sideways, lots of wicks to the downside, really, really baiting in shorts and punishing longs. Just as, I don't know, you probably don't remember this if you weren't, well, if you weren't here, you don't, but even if you were, you probably don't remember this. Right around here, this was 12,000, and this is where perma bulls at the, or perma bears at the time got very bullish for like a week. It was wild. They joined us in being bullish. On this fall was when they said, oh, I was right. Perma bear is right. Bitcoin's never going to go up. So maybe even the sentiment, I've been talking about we need FUD. Maybe even the sentiment is getting there with this recent decline. with the sell-off and or the, let's call it a bearish engulfing daily we see right now. This was pretty gut-wrenching. Some bears, I want to admit again, a concession, not nearly as much perma-bear flipping. We didn't have nearly as much at 31. There was some. I'm not going to name names because it's not about who. There was some. And I have actually since then seen them go back to bearish. Weird. But that's what we're looking for. It's not just price. It's also what's going on in our heads. So we're looking for the sell-off, and it was expected. If you were on the last stream, if you saw the last stream, it was on Monday. This was basically expected. You're expecting a sell-off to continue the pattern. If this holds, what we're going to see, again, distribution, and then something that looks very ugly. I'll call this a bear flag. Our highs came down. We didn't get back to kind of maybe this right shoulder of this head and shoulders. We had a lower high that began falling. It was very spooky again. Bitcoin, people in the crypto space were saying Bitcoin's going to go back down to 3,000. It might break it. It might go down to, people were yelling, I don't know, like $200, really, really low targets. But what we would look for if this is going to play out is a bear flag to paint. And so we would expect lower highs and higher lows. I think this is going to be the defining feature of this fractal as we watch it going forward. If we do see any kind of lower low, so if let's say the fractal plays out really well, we would expect maybe something like this to happen. And then to follow suit, maybe something like this. If we do see a low hit and then a lower high, and then our low breaks and we move down lower, fractals off the table, and, you know, Tom was wrong again, haha. But it would look maybe something like this. You know, no one knows the future, but that's kind of my estimation. And the excitement is that after this brutal, how long was this? 40 days? Luckily, we're looking for it on the 4-hour, not the daily. After 40 candles of really, really brutal price action, Bitcoin entered what I'll call only up mode. Virtually only up. Over the course, let's see. From the fall, it took 50 days to retake the high. So we'd be looking, I don't know, maybe 54-hour candles to retake 31. Once it did, but once it did, it ran to a new all-time high. That took about 175 days for over 400% gain. And that actually wasn't the end of it. We did hit a higher high later in 22. But that's the exciting part, is we had our sell-off. We had a bear market, or we're in a bear market, whatever you want. I don't care. And now we're seeing what looks like the price action at the start of the previous bull cycle. Now, there is some problems here, right? But Tom, Bitcoin's on a 4-year cycle. That's what I believe. I mean, that's what I believe. That's what everyone believes. That's very accepted knowledge, which happens to be maybe the most vulnerable knowledge in Bitcoin. Whatever always happens seems to have broken this cycle. So we do have some other indicators we're going to look at. We'll probably pull Bitcoin dominance up next because that's related. That would break the 4-year cycle. That's a pretty crazy call. We're going to need to see, in my opinion, not only this fractal play out, but also something specific on Bitcoin dominance to happen. And if those two things happen over the course of the next month or so, I think that we break the 4-year cycle. Not calling it yet. Still need to see this play out, and we need to see dominance do something specific. So let's look at that. Looking at the previous bull market, this is Bitcoin dominance, aka Bitcoin's market cap versus the total crypto market cap. Bitcoin hit its peak bull market with a very deep low in January of 2018. It then trudged back up, and as it rallied in 2019, we saw dominance really gain some strength. Bitcoin traded up to 73% of the entire crypto space in 2019. When dominance fell in March of 21, or let's even do it better. Let's do it better. When dominance hit its peak in January of 21, essentially that was the bull market start. So really quick take is dominance falling in the past cycle was bullish. Dominance rising was bearish. It was signaled by a lowest hit or lowest point in dominance. Here we are today. This doesn't look anything like the previous bull cycle. Neither, honestly, does price. The all-time high set, 69,000 versus 19.9 or 20K, doesn't really line up much. with anything, in my opinion. 69,000 to 15,000 is like a 75% retracement. Doesn't really line up with anything in any of the previous cycles either. So maybe it makes sense that dominance is a little gibberish here. So dominance has traded sideways for 2 years. It has recently, you guys probably see Benjamin Cohen he was getting very hype about dominance moving up. This is what would be, in my opinion, the expected move if we're still in the bear market. Dominance rallying maybe to 60. Of course, it's possible it reaches all the way back to its previous highs. The really only number off the table for Bitcoin dominance is 100, which it can never trade at again. Mathematically, just impossible. That would be the expected move. And the expected move, too, would be also a repeat of 2019. We've gone over what that would look like. Really short take. It would look like this. We've bottomed out at 15. We make a move back to the 618 on log. No, 618 on linear, 786 on log. That would put us around 48,000. Oh, man, I should have just whipped out the prepared chart instead of trying to make a new one live. Oh, well, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Feeling good. That's weird. I told it not to extend the line. So it looks something like this. Obviously, not a straight line. That's not how markets move. But back to previous lower high. That's about 48,000. That would match the exact retracement of 31. You can't see that. 31 to 14,000 that we saw in 2019. And then we would expect, again, a trip back down to the lows. Maybe not as severe as 2020 because people are considering that a black swan. But I don't really believe in black swan. I believe in charts. So maybe as low as like 15 or 20, maybe mid-20s. And then capitulation and then a slow trudge to a new all-time high. This is what we would expect. We've seen as traders that what we expect does not tend to work out well. That would put the new all-time high right on cycle. That would be what? 17, 21, 2024, 25, like everyone's expecting. It looks something like this. So if dominance does break to the upside, which it hasn't yet, though it also hasn't submitted, it hasn't lost momentum quite yet, this is the price action we would expect based on what happened last time. So my bold assumption saying maybe we break the 4-year cycle because we broke almost everything else in this previous cycle is this. Dominance hasn't, let me zoom in. Dominance definitely rejected from the same level that we've seen it reject from 3 or 4 times over the last few years. However, it didn't break its weekly low here from April 4th. I was kind of hoping over the last few days that we would see that. It does seem to have hit a higher low at this point, and it could be moving up to do what everyone expects it to do. Definitely have my eyes and alerts set here for any movement above, we'll call it 49% on dominance. That's likely signaling 2019. But there's another outcome, the one that doesn't fit or line up with the previous cycle, and that is we see dominance actually drop. We went over earlier that this was, in the previous cycle, a very bullish sign. It showed that investors were looking to take more risk, feeling more comfortable, aka more bullish with the space. What you also notice is there's really no peak. There's really no peak here like there was last time. Yes, right here in September at 69,000, we did have a very slightly lower low, but it's just nothing like the previous one. The previous one really had these dead, we'll call it dead cat bounces, where dominance dropped and then bounced, and we saw a shifting of value between alts and Bitcoin. Bitcoin had topped out at 20,000. Alts continued to run early January, and we hit that really exaggerated low, which we don't have. So the other scenario is that Bitcoin dominance drops from here, maybe double topping at 48.9, maybe a lower high. Who knows how it'll play out, but this is just a potential. Maybe it does fall. Maybe it breaks this cycle low, similar to how it did back here, and we see some kind of blow off top on crypto. We didn't get a blow off top. In fact, I was saying how this isn't like any other cycle. This is unlike anything Bitcoin has ever seen. This isn't the full history, but virtually every bull market top has looked the same, which is a really extreme run up where it virtually doubles overnight. It hits whatever number, and then it capitulates back down, drops like 50-ish% very quickly, and dicks around for a year, keeps people hoping. The bear market has been very unlike the previous ones as well, with virtually no bounces, just down. Virtually no bounces, just down. Totally just unlike anything we've seen. So am I saying that this is the likely path? No. It becomes more likely, however, drawing it full circle. Man, I have so much gibberish on here now. It becomes more likely if we continue to see this play out. Now, this isn't the only route it can take, but this is a very easily visualized route where we would see it forming some kind of bull market start signal. There we go. If that happens, I do expect dominance to drop. That will be very good for altcoins. If you guys want to yell about altcoin season, that would be altcoin season. That would also suggest, has some interesting implications. This would also suggest that whatever we saw at 69K, nice, wasn't the bull market top, and that maybe we never entered a bear market. It's all very interesting. As a perma bull, this is obviously what I want to happen. But what I want to happen, unfortunately, that's not how it works. That's not how it gets decided. So basically, we're following this fractal. We're following this pattern. As we do, we're watching dominance. If dominance moves up, I think we're much more likely repeating 2019. And if we see a curveball, we may have a very spicy 2023 lined up, not matching anything. And if there ever was a year to do it in Bitcoin's history, to totally break everything we expect and what we know, it's this year. Unprecedented times. Banks failing, countries moving away from the dollar's global reserve status being weakened by the day. I'm not saying that it's going to lose it, but I'm not going to necessarily say it will lose the status, though it looks like it's heading that way. It is, without any doubt, being weakened every single day of this year, as more deals are settled outside the dollar, and China seems to be up to something. I'm not going to put words in their mouth. I'm not going to make assumptions. Up to something. This is what Bitcoin was built for. In the Genesis block, Chancellor on the brink of second bank bailouts. We've already seen bank bailouts. The Fed, Mr. Chirpow, which we'll see on May 3rd, you better join, mark your calendars, has signaled they want to continue raising interest rates, and this will knowingly collapse more banks, thus more bank bailouts, more seizures. This is the environment, with inflation running hot. This is the environment that Bitcoin was literally created for, in response to banks being bailed out. So if there was ever a time for this to happen, I think this is the year. It's time to flex, boys. All right, there. We got rid of the philosophical. We got through a lot of it. Let's go through some of our just macro charts here. The dollar. Oddly, not as strong as I was expecting. I was looking for higher. I was looking for higher on the last stream. It looks like on the 17th, the dollar had a 0% change day, which is extremely unusual. 0%. I mean, not even 0.01. Extremely unusual. Meaning it opened and closed at the same price. Yesterday, we saw a sell-off. Today, we've seen it rebound, set a higher high. This actually looks like a double top. Double top on the day. And, man, looks like the Bears are defending that potential bullish engulf. The daily close on the dollar. I'm actually going to set an alert here at 102.11. That's going to be pretty important. If the bulls for the dollar can take price back up above 102.1, they're going to have a bullish engulfing right below the trend line that has been smacking them down for the last few weeks. After hitting a lower low for the year, more downside for the dollar does look likely into this year, breaking its low. Man, I got to get a Tums. I'm going to get Professor Beans to grab me a Tums. She's great like that. Beans, give me a Tums. I don't know if that'll work. I might have to text Professor Beans. I don't know what's going on with my heartburn lately. Hasn't been too bad, but all right. Let's keep going. Dollar looking a little weak. Gold. I was talking to an old guy at an auction yesterday. He was like selling coins. It's actually really interesting. It's got to be like 80 years old, selling coins, and we just had the greatest chat about gold, silver, paper gold, paper silver. It was pretty cool. It reminded me that Bitcoiners and gold people, gold bugs, actually used to be very, very much allies. And that Peter Schiff drove a division between us We should make an active effort to push against Peter Schiff's division, his marketing ploy. Okay, cool. I'm getting it done. And we should rejoin because we're of the same thing. It was really cool to hear him say so much of the rhetoric that we say. He talked about the dollar going to zero and buying your groceries. Bro. Buying your groceries in gold and silver and the dollar going to zero. I'm going to chew this thumbs up quick. Shout out to everybody who's here. I'm working through the heartburn just for you. Do me a favor, smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. In 1 second. Have we really only had 2 people subscribe? I wouldn't doubt it. I think last year we only had 20. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to help get rid of my heartburn. But it was a really great talk. I talked to him for like an hour. Just about everything we say. There we go. Dave B, what's up, my man? Thank you, sir. About the dollar going to zero, losing its value, and like, I was like, I want to ask you a question. Would you ever buy like paper gold or silver derivatives? And he was like, oh no, of course not. No. All spot physical. I keep it, I have my safe, blah, blah. And it just made me miss the old days because people in Bitcoin when I started all had gold. I have never owned any real amount of spot gold because I just don't have the capacity. I don't have like a big safe. It isn't logistically for me. I don't hate gold, but I told him, honestly, you might want to hold on to your gold and silver because I think we see new all-time highs this year, at least for gold, if not for gold and silver. It was a really great combo. What's up, Alex Witt? Alex Witt, thank you for subscribing, my brother. Good to see you. Keep them coming, boys. It's just a great conversation. He was saying that you were talking about like spot trading high above the price per ounce, and it was just really cool. But let's reunite. Let's embrace each other again. We have if he would have replaced the word gold with Bitcoin in everything he said, it would have been literally just crypto rhetoric. It was amazing. Anyway, my heartburn is subsiding now that I got a Tums. I don't think I had breakfast this morning. I'm going to flip through some charts here and just update you. INJ, we looked at last stream. I said this is looking strong, but unfortunately we're right at resistance. I'd probably look for a short that could be maybe flipped into a long at the previous support that's been untested. And so far, so good. Down more than 8% from our entry at 917. Now trading at 850. I'm not really going to go too much into this, but that's essentially the range I'm watching on INJ for those of you trading it. The long is a lot harder. I just placed this here because it's I consider it like good practice. But the long entry, if this short plays out, is going to be a lot harder. That's why it's a really big stop. I don't really have any more update than that. I do want to update you guys on ADA because potentially it's playing out again exactly as predicted. I'm wrong all the time, but when I'm right, baby, I'm right. 60% of the time, I'm right every time. ADA had been trading between 31 and 41. We slayed it here on this channel live. Just slayed it. There's no other words. It did break 41 cents finally on the 12th of April. And we said, okay, so what's the next logical move? A pullback to previous resistance to test as support. And where was that? 41.6 cents. This was the major level all of 2022. It finally broke, tested as resistance, rejected to lows, came up, rejected again, finally breaking, now painting a really bullish pattern that most people have trouble identifying unless I invert the chart. So if I invert the chart, you probably see it a little better. That's a classic head and shoulders there on the inverted chart with a pullback to 41.6. If this support or previous resistance holds as support, this may have literally today been an awesome entry. I will say we haven't had the best outcomes with some of these inverse head and shoulders, especially on macros, but this one is looking pretty clean so far. The stop was placed down here simply because the upside target was so high. I probably wouldn't hold, especially not leverage. I personally probably would not hold one this low, but maybe a pretty opportune time for a spot. And what's cool is usually when we look at these things, it's like in hindsight and it's like, now it's at 70 cents. And it's like, well, yeah, you should have bought back there. Says everyone yelling at you. But Cardano right now is one that maybe is at a good entry. There's no guarantee that it won't go lower. There's no guarantee that this pattern plays out. But there's some evidence, some supporting evidence, that maybe a layered or partial entry or a small position, especially spot, could be an intelligent one at 41 cents. I personally am not buying here on Cardano simply because I already have Cardano. I have a bunch of it. It's been staked forever, and I bought it back here. So I don't want it up here. But that doesn't mean that, you might not, or that someone who wants to add to their bag of Cardano might not. If your cost basis is higher than 41 cents, this might not be a bad spot. Make your own decisions, etc. Not financial advice. ARB. ARB is the last one I think I want to look at before we kind of get into more analysis on the corn, more in depth, and take some requests. Oh no, and then get into PEPE. We're going to look at PEPE next. We're going to do a little research. So ARB, I'm not touching this personally, but we looked at ARB. It broke its all-time high. Yes, it doesn't have much traded history, so our confidence level is very low. We set this trade up, I think, on the last live stream. Yeah. Basically, targeting the previous all-time high as support. It was resistance, and our stop kind of generously down here, and you can see, I mean, we were close to getting stopped out. I think 148, something like that. Still, this trade is down. If it had been entered from 160, would be down 3.4%. But this is looking kind of like a classic play. Nice little wick, exactly. Ooh. Where is that from? I hate this. It keeps turning on session breaks. Little wick exactly to support, where buyers came in, pushed price up. However, $1.60, at least on the hourly time frame, does look to be acting as resistance now for a lower high. Man, I don't know what I would do this. I said I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't take this trade when I placed it. I still wouldn't. This is sketchy. There's not enough history for me. This is going to be a hard call. This is going to be a hard call. But at least so far, so good. No more updates on that. Zen, you know what? I definitely want to admit my losses here, or my failures, or when I'm wrong, because I don't ever want to give the illusion that I'm always right or some kind of guru. Same logic, basically, as many things. Zen, we were at resistance, and it said, hey, as bullish as this looks, when you're at resistance, you typically go short. Just smarter play. Our short did get riggedy wrecked as it traded significantly higher before selling off. That's what stops are for. 28, 30% higher. Wow. There it is. What's up, NP? Welcome to the fam, my friend. Good to have you. Make sure you jump in the Discord. We always do, I make every single person in our community who joins the Discord a Bitcoin holder. After every live stream, I airdrop everyone some sats. It's not a lot, but hey, it's a good reason to join. It's also a great way to keep up with the lives. Zen actually looking pretty strong, and maybe even kind of looks like it's testing that resistance as support on the daily. I just wanted to point out, I'm not always right. I'm wrong all the time. Make your own choices. Just take what I've learned and do better than me. Really, that's the goal. So there it is. There's a loss. Actually, I shared a bunch of losses earlier, but hey, why not share them all the time? Let's look really quick at stocks. Stocks are teasing me. I'm at like a no action point for stocks until we see 4,200 break on the SP 500 or SPX. For me, it's just a no trade. I could look for a short at 4,300. We've been waiting forever for it to return to there. I do like that it found support on its 200 weekly. And teased us on the 200 daily before finding support moving to the upside. Sketchy at best. Sketchy at best below 4,200, but definitely looking better than it was late last year. We have seen highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Now we're really just waiting for that higher high to bring us maybe out of this weird looking inverse head and shouldery, rounded bottom, whatever you want to call it, giggity pattern. For me, it's a no trade. Ethereum, Bitcoin. We looked at this last stream. This is the last update. Then we're going to look into PEPE. We were looking at this trend line. I said, it is exciting. I bet people are looking to buy on the FBTC pair, but this trend line has been kind of a bitch for Ethereum, and it wouldn't surprise me to see something like this happen. It looks like that was pretty on point yesterday. FBTC doing a sharp U-turn. Now, this doesn't mean it can't continue up or it's nuked, but at the moment, it's acting pretty similarly to the way it has been for months, which is falling, hitting a lower high, slightly lower low, higher high to the trend line before getting rejected. So low, lower high, slightly lower low, rallies to trend line, rejected. Will it repeat? Your guess is as good as mine. But basically, the thought process here was on Monday, even though it's up and it's looking great, this is not the ideal time to long FBTC. That's what I said. Actually, I have to add an alert here. If this plays out, likely to see lower lows on this pair. However, we do have very strong support at 0.05. It is possible that Ethereum does this dance all the way down to 0.05, right? That's possible. That'd probably be pretty bullish in my opinion, though it would suck during the time. That would paint out a really clear parallel channel, and then I would expect it to break to the upside, at least looking to move back to the mean. I mean, there's a play on FBTC, but right now, right here, I don't believe is a good one. If you just kind of look at this simply as a sideways range, we're right in the middle of the range. Literally the worst place to look for a position. We're at 0.067, 0.88 above us, 0.5 below us, virtually equidistant, almost perfectly in the middle of the channel, at least to me visually. Let me double check. I was pretty close. I didn't place this perfectly either. My OCD just kicked in. There we go. All right, so that would be the perfect middle of the channel, 0.687. We're at 0.7 or 0.676. Unfortunately for me, it's no trade. No trade on ETH versus Bitcoin. So that doesn't actually have anything to do with its dollar value. As weird as that might sound. That can continue to drop while Bitcoin goes up in dollar value, and then Ethereum can continue up in dollar value. Or Bitcoin can go down in dollar value, and Ethereum can go up against Bitcoin, and then, etc. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Looking at Ethereum, this is not so unexpected, is it? I mean, I did open a short at 2100. Sending wedge, you have like kind of a hype rally, and at the moment, to me, Ethereum just looks like it's coming back to fill that fair value gap, to maybe test the previous resistance as support. We see basically a double top on the day at 1910. Fair value gap virtually starts there. This is all inefficient price action on the way up for Ethereum. Yeah, very inefficient, especially these candles, like right here, straight up, very inefficient, straight up, very inefficient. It has filled this inefficiency. 1925. 1925 looks like on really low time frames where this fair value gap would start. Not a bad place maybe to look for an entry. I'm not sure how you'd manage to stop. Under 1900, something like that. Still like that. Maybe look for some kind of retracement. Actually, I'll leave that there. So yeah, wouldn't be surprising, just like Bitcoin, expecting a little bit more downside. Hopefully I'm wrong and everything goes up, moon, etc. You know, I always want it to go up, but that's just not how it works. Something of note though for sure is Ethereum did the Bart Simpson, or is doing the Bart Simpson. And just like it had inefficiency on the way up, it is showing us inefficiency on the way down, and even some of that price is overlapping. So for those of you kind of panicked, maybe you bought at 2100, now you're down, you're freaking out. Can't give you financial advice, and every situation is going to be unique and different. But what I can say is with fairly strong confidence, Ethereum will look to move to 2050. That might not alleviate your fears, but with this inefficiency up and down right at this level, that's also basically where it found support on the top of the Bart Simpson hair, 2,500, very likely to be revisited. This is very inefficient action, and the market does, more often than not, tend to fill that in. However, 1925, 1910-ish, wouldn't be surprising to see that first. I could see that in a very quick candle, and then a very slow march back up, making this whole price range more efficient, and likely resembling this kind of more efficient price action. There it is. There it is. Pepe's trash, says Dave. I don't know. I gave you my thoughts initially at the beginning of the stream. And let's look into it. I don't know if it's... Actually, let's do this. Let's end this poll. It only had 700 votes. 58% of us staying bullish. 42% of us need me to hold them. Maybe they just want me to hold them. That's okay. Let's end that. Let's do this. Let's start a poll. What do you think about PEPE? Let's do it's good as the first one. Let's give the opportunity for those to be positive about it to be positive, and then I don't know, kind of neutral, and then we'll do it's clearly a meme coin pump and dump. Yes, just enough letters. All right, there you go. Let's vote on the poll. We almost have 420 likes, guys. I don't know what's going on with the lazy liking. Shout out to all of you who have liked and subscribed. I don't know what's going on with the lazy liking in the last few streams. The hype of the market has been low, and I understand that. But vote in this poll. With 42 votes, 64% are saying it's clearly a meme coin pump and dump. Keep voting. 88 is not enough. Not enough. But let's look at it. Let's look at it. Why? What else are we gonna do? What else are we gonna do? First thoughts looking at its CoinGecko page. It is a ERC20 token. So like every ERC20 token, not the pinnacle of decentralized. It has traded. What's interesting is this says it's only traded on CoinGecko from April 18th. Now, I don't know if that's true because when I go to BitGet perps, we see that PEPE. Oh, this is PEPE's. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, this is why. I was like, huh, there is some history. There's some chart history here. Interesting. I thought this was brand new hype. Okay. It did start April 18th. This is why I've been seeing it. This is it. It has 2 days of trading. There's almost no analysis we can do on this chart whatsoever. The only real things we can do is say, okay, that's its all-time high, that's its all-time low, that's its daily open, or let's just say the only significant daily level that exists for it right here. Now, this is for, I mean, I will shout them out for the 420,690,000,000 supply. That gets my thumbs up for that. Doesn't mean anything about its price or chart or investing. In no way am I endorsing this. But with that huge of a supply, you see the scale gets a little goofy. 18.926 E minus 8. So a little pro tip, because it's not so hype of a day, is in TradingView, lots of people don't know this, when you put a symbol in, it's actually a formula. So you can do more than just a symbol. So you can do PEPE USDT. We see E minus 8. So let's multiply it by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's get a little bit cleaner. Oh, God. I did it wrong. Divided by? No, it has to be multiplied by. Right? Look at me getting my maths weird. Why didn't that work? I mean, it worked as in it did the math, but apparently that made the E's worse. Maybe not enough zeros. Let's add just a few more zeros. Basically, what I'm doing here is minus 8. Why is it? It seems to be making it smaller. Why is it making it smaller? Oh, no, it's not. I see what it's doing. It's the... Sorry, guys. It's doing this. Where's precision? There we go. We'll go like 1 million. No. There we go. All right, there we go. Mission accomplished. That's what I meant. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Is that 8? 9. All right, we'll give it 8 zeros. There we go. This is a little trick you can use on anything. You can get experimental. You can get a little creative with it. Why did that do this, though? It changed the chart. What the fudge? Oh, because we're on Poloniex now, and we were on the BitGet. Here we go. Okay, a little minor interruption there. That's so weird. Why is it doing that? We're on BitGet. I've never seen TradingView do this. Oh. Because of the way it calls symbols. So there is a little bit to know. A little bit to know. It's usually not this complicated. The only reason it's being a little bit of a dick is it's switching between exchanges. When I'm calling PEPE USDT, I think I have to do it this way. PEPE USDT BitGet. and then put that in parentheses. It's really not usually this hard. Promise you. Thought that's how you call it. Or is it Bitget Pepe? Alright, this little pro tip has turned into like way more than I wanted to do about it. There we go. Tom knows. Tom can do stuff. He knows how to do this stuff. There we go. This is a little creative thing you can use. That usually isn't that hard. It isn't usually that hard. But basically what it does is just makes the chart a lot more digestible. It's a lot easier to understand, I don't know, 31 cents than it is to understand, you know, whatever numbers, E minus 8 million. And if you do it in multiples of 10, your chart's going to be exactly the same. This is that'd be a good time to rant about unit bias, but I want to actually look at Pepe. Unit bias. If you just multiply the charts, you can make anything $1. You can make anything a cent. It's not relevant. The relevant is the change. The actual number is irrelevant. The change is important. The change is where you profit and lose. So this is a little bit more digestible. So for the sake of this, I'm going to call it $3.11, but not at all am I saying it's going to $3.11. I am saying it when we multiply it by 10 million, we have $3.11. So just note, anytime I'm referring to the price in this little segment, I mean when you multiply it by 10 million. So 10 million Pepe coins is $3.11. There you go. Let's zoom in. There's just nothing we're going to be able to do with this chart. We don't have any kind of time frame. We don't have any kind of like candles of any kind. I wouldn't even like dare to pretend to say anything about this yet. The only thing I can say with any kind of confidence is we can use our fib tool. We can look at our fib tool. It looks like it did slap a nice little 0.5 retracement before bouncing just under its previous high of the day. Its 618 retracement sits really, really closely to its daily level of $1.80 or $1.90. I'm just going to back off of any TA for this because there's no point. We don't have enough data to work with. If we want to, like, I don't know, make ourselves feel good, we can use our extension here and say, okay, here's kind of like, if we see its all-time high broken, we can look up here for profit taking. And again, all of this is going to be percent based. That's all that matters in trading anyway. Flat numbers. They went up $50. That means nothing. Went down $1,000. Went down $10,000. It means nothing. The percent change is what matters. If we see it break its all-time high of 10 million coins at $3.71, we'd probably look for about $5. Maybe as high as $6.20. And from the all-time high, that would be a gain of 37%. Up to 67-ish%. There you go. That's about all we can do. What we can do, though, is we can look at more, I don't even know what to call them, the stats, the dynamics. So something that is important to me, market cap, $135 million market cap. I have a very concise, easy peasy stance on market cap. Pepe, whether you think it's clearly a meme coin pump and dump or it's good or you don't know, the poll's still in favor of the first, you can say this. Its market cap is 135 million. Bitcoin's market cap is, I actually don't remember off the top of my head right now. That's embarrassing. 100 billions. Okay. Hundreds of billions. That is a factor of 10, 100, like 1,000, something like that. Something like that. So essentially, if you're feeling FOMO and for whatever reason, whether you like it or you don't, you decide you want some of this, or this applies to anything because it's that simple and sharp. If the market cap is this low, think of it this way. What you invest into a coin in my style and my mantra of trading is make that position size proportionate to the market cap. The reason being is, one, if you dump $1 million into this, you won't have the liquidity to do so. You'll get wrecked. You'll just get wrecked. The same would be true if you had $1 million worth of this and you sold it right now. You wouldn't get 1 million times its price. You would get wrecked. Market cap is very small. Liquidity is small. And so you can make a small bet and your risk management is the position size. So something this small, for me, it's like if I put $25 into it, that's probably big. That's probably a big investment for me at $135 million market cap. If this goes to wherever you imagine it is because you're feeling FOMO, that's an 1,000x. So if I put 25 bucks in it, 1,000x, now I have 25,000. Like you don't need to go big. When you go big, you're really just adding risk and you're not really getting that same ceiling reward potential proportionally. Maybe that part doesn't make as much sense or is a little more complicated, but my honest hope is that anyone, not just Pepe, but anyone looking at a coin like this, just remember those words. Make the position size relative to the market cap. That way, your max loss is 25 if you only put 25 bucks in. Your max gain is whatever moon you think it'll go to. I'm not going to entertain that right now. But that has kept me really safe. That has kept me safe, but what it's also allowed me to do is throw money at coins I don't believe in, but kind of believe other people believe in and they're going to pump it so I can sell it into them. I won't name which ones, but there you go. Let's look at, I don't know, tokenomics not available for this coin. I'm sure the tokenomics are, a wallet created all 420 trillion, 690 million. Man, that's the only points they have for me so far. The supply, that's the only points they get. Were created in a wallet by someone. Their Telegram group has less users than my Discord. They don't have a GitHub. So to my knowledge, they likely just did like a generic Ethereum ERC20 contract. I don't want to add it, but how do I open this? Oh, cool. Oh, Pepe versus F. Looks like even on swaps, it only has a few days of data. And I mean, I can see this. So I do believe a lot of the comments on Twitter that I saw, follow me on Twitter. If you're someone who believes in this coin and isn't a bot, make a comment on my Twitter and say I'm a real person. But I see why some people might be getting excited or feeling FOMO about this, even versus Ethereum and its very limited trading. April 14th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It has been only green. This is scary to me. This is scary in my experience. Things that do this, I mean, it can continue, but typically when you see just up, you then see just down. When you see just up, you're usually looking at the top. But I see why there might be some organic hype going on. It has basically only climbed since it started trading. But think of it. If I create a coin and have all of them, I can pretty much guarantee that I can make price only go up. Why? Because literally no one can sell it. If I make 1 million Tom Crown coins and I buy some of them on a DEX from another wallet, I can make it look like the chart is moving. People see it going up, but I can guarantee that price won't go down because no one else has any to sell. Does that make sense? Be very careful. This is why I value decentralization in crypto, because decentralization essentially is guaranteeing that that isn't the scenario. Almost every pump and dump coin is done the same way. They imagine them into existence. They wash their own market until there's enough gains there that people jump on, and then they sell into that liquidity. Just be careful. Could this one coin, Pepe, could this one be a really good person who isn't doing that? Sure. I'm not going to even pretend to make judgments about who it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know what their plan is, but I'll say this. I have seen this same game played 1 million times, and it has ended the same way every time. Think the Squid token or whatever, 2 years ago, a year ago. Their website looks like it was slapped together. It's not the worst one I've ever seen. What's their Twitter? Let's make meme coins great again. I mean, that's a solid slogan. Their account was made in April of this year. I got a lot of red flags, but you know what? If you are a real person and you believe in this, that's fine. I do still think it'd be very wise to heed my advice on market cap and coins. There you go. That's what it is. Yeah. Yep. Has anything moved in the last 24 hours? Nothing really significantly moving. Radix XRD up 140% in the last 7 days. Something tells me, though, if you go to like the monthly, it's still down a lot. Baby Doge, 36%. Not a lot of interest there. Stacks. Stacks down to 78 cents. That's actually the only one that catches my eye. Let's pull up Stacks quick. After I pull up Stacks, this is just for my own, honestly, this is for my own curiosity. I'm going to read the chat, see what you guys are up to, what you guys are thinking, what you thought of my Pepe review. Was it fair? All right. Stacks actually ain't doing too bad. I thought it was much lower. Meh. Look at that later. I know I just said I'd do that, so let me, before I do that, just so I can get my compass aligned, I'm going to flip through Market Cipher. By the way, I haven't really explained what Market Cipher does. They're a sponsor of our channel. They are my favorite indicator. I also really, really love Lux Algo, even though you guys don't see me use it much on stream. That's mostly because I find it kind of clunky to stream with. I don't find it clunky to chart with. I find it clunky to stream with because there's a lot of colors and lines, and I like to keep my charts more clean. But Market Cipher B, there's more to Market Cipher. Market Cipher B, the reason I like it is it isn't some magic formula. Market Cipher B is literally, and if you open it up, if you go into the settings, you can see, does it have it written here? Yeah, you can see almost all of these are titled in the way that's logical. It's just almost all of our basic indicators compressed into one indicator that's a lot easier to digest. So we have RSI, Stotch RSI, we have VWAP, we have money flow. These are all individual classic indicators. Light blue wave and blue wave are momentum, which is a classic indicator. The triggers and some different things are a little more custom, a little more built. But what I like about Market Cipher B, and I've said this long before they sponsored me, is I use these tools, and this is just a really clean, efficient way of putting them all in one spot. And I like it. I'll use it. Market Cipher A, Market Cipher D, B, SI, SR, those are their own beasts. They're different. Lots of people use them. They're good. Everything from Market Cipher is good. But yeah, I derailed myself. Let's see. Our low is right here for today. Where do we trade down to? 29 on the dot. Cool. Our initial high, swept, rejected. Swept. We have not swept the lows on liquidity there. Okay. 5 minute is okay. 10 minute actually looking all right. Looking pretty bullish. 15 minute IA is looking to roll over. That's not a bad sign. 30 minute is still pretty heavily bearish. 45. Weird little gumdrop there, but I'm not convinced by it. The hourly is looking to roll over. Money flow is red, but we're seeing our highs come down. Here was our peak on the hour. We have a lower high. We have broken our lows over here. The signal actually was back here. Looks like at 8 or 9 p.m. last night on the hourly. So the hourly is looking to roll into positive money flow. It doesn't have to happen now. You can see that we got the signal here. It's kind of dicked around. Rolled over. Interesting. This is where we got the signal that it was rolling over. That was not a great signal. That was a rough signal. No indicator will give you. No indicator will always tell you the right answer. 2 hours still a little bearish, but it has some hopium. 4 hours looking kind of bearish. 6 hour in really the same condition. Our baby 12 hour. No, this is what I didn't want to see. The 12 hour not looking great. Not looking great. It was giving us such good stuff all year. 12 hour kind of looks like it wants to go down. Now, daily money flow, gumdrop here, pretty ugly. We've seen selling off since. VWAP still heavily negative, and money flow going down into the red. So the daily is leaning bearish. It becomes very bearish if money flow exceeds this previous low. If that happens, or when that happens, likely that would be in the invalidation. We see something like that. That's very likely these two events would happen at the same time. I don't love what I'm seeing on the chart. It looks mostly bearish, but that does kind of line up with what we're looking for anyway, is lows until this fractal holds or is invalidated. That fits pretty well. Not loving it. Not super bully. Let's do one more thing. Let's take our high to our low here. I'll take this high. $30K. I'm not seeing it for 30. I have no idea. I have no idea. I usually have like a pretty good read on short term, but no idea. Short term, yeah. Short term, I could see it retracing as high as 30 before falling, but based on what we're looking for, we're still looking for some lower lows. Not necessarily extreme lower lows, but we're still looking down, or I'm still looking down at the moment. So Bitcoin's very sideways, probably why we struggled. We did get 420 likes, but probably why we struggled to get it. We have been very sideways since the fall. Oof. All right. All right. Heartburn's gone. CrownAnalysis.com is fully operational. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you check out CrownAnalysis.com. You can type it in on Google now. You can look at, oh, did you put another one? Shout out to CoinCheck, dude. You are slaying it, my girl. I love her articles. Her articles are so much more readable than anything I ever write. Like Introduction, the dating game of Layer 1 protocols. Who's your crypto crush? And before you cringe, 1, she's a cutie patootie, and 2, it's not what you think. It's like the dating game, but then B&B Smart Chain, and it gives them like characters, like the gym rat with the side hustle, Cardano, the intellectual, Polkadot, the connector. Like I just think it's so readable and awesome. Check it out. I'm gonna pull up the chat here. What are you guys looking at? What do you think? Was my review of Pepe fair? 63% with almost 500 votes, kind of the same opinion as me. What's up, Dave? Stanky. Nice DD. Yeah, there's not much else we can do. Not much else we can do with the DD. There's not a lot of history. It hasn't been around. It looks like it kind of poofed into existence the 14th. Look up the Fu Manchu indicator if you want to. Oh, don't do that. I'm sad that I wrote that. I probably should have put that word on the filter list just because as Market Cypher is my sponsor, I wouldn't say it necessarily like breaches the contract, but I'm an honorable person, and to even for someone to like assume I was promoting a copycat would be kind of effed and against my moral code. Derek, you're welcome to your own opinion. I think she's a cute patootie. Does anyone have an indicator with Peen? Zoltan. Look up Peen indicator. Peen indicaticus. Rash ID. New giveaway today. We haven't done one yet. We can. We've done a giveaway every single time. So, I don't know. If we miss one, it's not the end of the world. But obviously you guys want us to. Why wouldn't you? I'd want it to. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. Chat's up. Ooh, I have 2 chats up. That's probably not good. The camera hasn't frozen all stream, and you'll know because I figured out the problem, at least what's been causing it the majority of the time. So hopefully no more frozen cameras. I want to shout out Kristen21, Dehing Hong Tien, also subscribed. It's not a hype day. I was hype. Highly recommend. If you guys weren't here at the start of the stream, and I never say stuff like this, you absolutely have to go back to the start of this stream, whether it's after the live or right now in DVR. You absolutely have to see the start of the stream. It will shock you. 100 Bitcoin giveaway, Fletcher, bro. When I'm rich enough to do that, that'd be sweet. There you go, psychedelic. Ooh, a whole list of Pen 15 indicators. I like it. I'm gonna join the Pen 15 club. Joshua Tree must be on your best behavior. What had happened? Fletcher, I cannot hype it enough. You'll see something that you just never thought you'd see. What's up, Anna Filipowicz? How you doing, darling? Coming to the USA, hopefully we'll meet you. Fakrul Mishu, when are you coming? What are you going for? If you go to Bitcoin Miami, links in the video description below, you will see me. Do I really want to hear your thoughts, Craigton C? I do. Itadaku Masuso. LFG. Can you have a wrench QT4 around the world? We don't just give them out. You got a membership. Those get given out. There's a lot of wrenches. Trust me. I keep an eye on everyone. Everyone who's here all the time. And you'll see that the people who are here all the time get wrenches. Creighton C, you're probably up there next. Probably up there next. I see you all the time. Thoughts on your coin, Pepe? I already went over. What do you think? Thoughts on my critique or thoughts on my analysis? What kind of glasses do you wear? Crypto Curtis says. They don't even have a name. A company named wow, I'm drawing a blank. Blenders used to make them. They don't make them anymore. So now I get just like there's just knockoff ones. Just Google them. Just Google mirror box frame polarized sunglasses, blue, or something like that. Maybe the start of a widening wedge. Widening? Pen 15. Who wants to join the Pen 15 club? Yeah, the bot kept saying, I guess I should because the stream bot has put out there that we'll do a giveaway. Pepe better than Shib? Pepe, it's the same thing. In my opinion, those are like literally the same thing. ERC20 token. You guys know, being a mod, literally, there's like, it doesn't do anything. Where can you buy CrowdCoin, Ruben? I have never decided to make a unregistered security and maybe go to jail. What's up, JG Dubs? Never been speaking in chat. Always enjoying your stay. Thank you, my friend. Doctor's calling me. I got a whole box of them. Actually, if you see me, I don't know if I'll bring them to Estonia. Because international travel. I don't know, I'm probably going to travel light. But in Miami, I will have some of these bad boys I'll be giving away. Just handing them out. Basically, my thought is I want to go with like a bunch and then be like, if you take a picture with me with these on, you can keep them. I'm going to see if I can bribe real famous people into it. What's up, Sidvada? Sivada, far out, man. Be fresh gear. I don't even know what that means. Chinggis, Link made you poor. I'm sorry. Link did really good in the last bear market. Did not do really good in this bear market. Oh no, Y2K is already a member of the Pen 15 club. Christian XRD. Yeah, I bet I could pull it up. Bitcoin is not moving, apparently. I don't know what I have on here. Might be embarrassing. Ain't that the breaks? Isn't that always how it goes? We haven't looked at this in a long time. But when we looked at it, literally looking at the 618, looking at the rejection, pull us to a longer time frame. I'll give this one thing. I like this. I like this inefficient monthly price action. Your only real efficiency in price is below you, which would mean potentially a support at 6 cents. Now, this is a big drop. Not saying it's going there, but there's only downward inefficiency. Here's the issues. And this is kind of what I assume when people randomly say they want to see a chart they haven't looked at in a year. Almost always you're right at resistance. So this is very inefficient. This is honestly, this move that XRD pulled. This is what I am looking for and have been talking about for like almost every coin in the space for a little bit now. Inefficiency down. Once you break resistance, you fill in that inefficiency very quickly. This is why I was talking about Ethereum, if it can trade above and maybe close above like 2100, that it has the potential and the inefficient price action to run to like 3500 very quickly. And that's pretty much what you would expect it to look like. Inefficient price action up. Your issue is you're back to the first point of efficiency here at 16 cents. So it's up a lot. You're feeling FOMO. You want to go long. The issue is you're going long right underneath the resistance and right after inefficient price action on the way up. Could it work out? It could. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you I would not go long on this. Right here, 12 cents. However, and this is, I know nothing about this coin. It could be the best coin in the world. It could be the crappiest coin in the world. I know nothing about it. But what I can tell you is that if you had asked me this question let's say over time, and it's back here at 6.5, I might have a different answer. I might say I might look to maybe make a really small spot position, and I can add to it if it retests its low. But at 6.5 cents, maybe. Up here, I would not touch it. The only thing I would do here potentially is short it, but I wouldn't even short it because I'm sure this doesn't have the liquidity. It looks like it has wild price action. I think a short would be honestly just as dangerous at this point because you just see something like that. It's spicy. I love it. Lots of green. You know, it's good to get excited. Feels good. Green is good. But just under 16 cents. If I was stuck in a position, like, I would look to close it at 16. That's what I would do. That's what I'd do. Here we go. Alert set. Cool glasses. Thank you, Samuel. Appreciate you. What's up, Mattis? Laser eyes. Yes. Time to spam Tom to check DM. All right, Rico. Please don't freeze my camera as I open Discord. Don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze, don't. Wow, it's taking a long time to load. There we go. Didn't freeze. I might jinx it now, but... What are you looking at, Rico? Sir Rico sent me something. This is cool. What am I looking at? Bitcoin on the 15-minute. Binance USD, BTC USD order book, and this is just live order book. Is there more comment than this? Let me see if you said message. Oh, Greg really wants to know the PEPE pump is being done by one bot using 7% of all gas used. Greg really wants me to know that the PEPE pump is by one bot using 7% of all the gas. Okay, it took me twice to read through, so I haven't looked into it. Greg's a great dude, smart guy. Some of his ideas are a little out there at times, a little too wild for me, but I don't think that's one of them. I don't think that one is one of them. I don't have the evidence in front of me. But I said earlier about the concept of someone creating an ERC20 token and the inability for anyone else to push the price down because there simply isn't any coins in any other wallets. So one bot pumping the price lines up perfectly with that same concept. So Greg's probably right. We could look into it. I'm not going to because I'm too lazy. It already makes sense to me. I don't need to look it up. What's up, Marika? How you doing, darling? Just bought a bit of ETH and XLM. Interesting. It's the screenshots robot. It is. When I use the snipping tool on Windows, Instarect instantly freezes. Ooh. What do we got here? Where's my beautiful Litecoin? Why is it not included in every list? It used to be. There it is. Oh man, Litecoin took a tumble. Oh, no wonder. No, I was like, wait, why is my bit? Why was that bit? Not bit. Why is that MEXC account? I was like, why is the MEXC account lower than I remembered it? Because Litecoin took a tumbly wumbly. I had a long at like 98.9 with a stop at like 98. So I definitely had a long open and then close. It is taking a tumbly wumbly. Honestly, it's not that scary. Not that scary. Does suck though, because that would almost implicitly mean that Litecoin Bitcoin is losing. And that's not what I want to see there. I need to see LTC BTC gain strength. Yeah, that's a gnarly candle, bro. But Litecoin's still well within the same range it's been in. That's not really... I mean, this candle sucks, and if it keeps going, that's not good. My portfolio is certainly unhappy. But to me, it's like flat-topped, ascending triangle, breakout, backtest. I mean, ideally, I want to see Litecoin close today higher. And every day, Tom, huh? Let's call like 93.35 for a weekly close. Below that, a little bit uglier. Below like 90, much uglier. But at this point, you had to move up. You had a bullish engulf. You didn't hit a new high. You rejected. You may just be testing that previous resistance as support. Below 90, things get sketchy. Then you're looking probably down closer to this band. It's like 80 to 82. And if you lose that, you're looking really bad. 73, 75 on the low wicks. Like, I don't think it trades to 75 though. And wrong before. Not the best look. But at the same time, honestly, this isn't just to defend Litecoin. Though I do love Litecoin. Decentralized proof of work. Not just to defend Litecoin, but this can be used to defend almost anything today. Everything has gone down. I would honestly be... I am typically a little nervous when we see the market dump and certain coins don't. I'm nervous about those coins typically. Those ones usually end up dumping just after everything goes back up. Total, yeah, Total took a big dip here. That would mean dominance is up. Yep, we saw that earlier. Dominance is up. Total fell more than Bitcoin. Total down 4%. Let's see really quick here. Got a little order block there. Hopefully Total settles a little higher. Is this really, though, just going to be a double bottom? Yeah. I mean, if Total holds here today, it just double bottomed on the day, on the week at 1.17 trillion. If it closes above that order block at like 1.19 or 1.2, it's actually looking pretty good. Obviously, you got resistance up here, but you already did. It would not surprise me at all to see this just come right back up tomorrow. Not saying this, but just back to 1.24. Something like that. And then, I mean, maybe even see a bigger candle after that. This looks like it's just broadening out. Where it fell to is not the worst. It's pretty savage for one day, but it's a double bottom at 1.17. If it had gone a little bit lower today, I'd be a little more worried. 1.15 would be a pretty solid test. Pretty solid spot for support. Maybe even want to move that down to 1.14. Look at the weekly order block. Not out of the realm of possibility to come back here. If we look left, that's also our previous weekly resistance from August, 1.14. So as long as it's in this realm here, above 1.14, it's not much. I don't think it's much to worry about. Everything is dumping. What's up, Jason Catalin? You did not get your YouTube notification today. What the heck? I don't know. Make sure you have notifications enabled on your mobile device for YouTube. Like if you have YouTube notifications silenced in your little app manager, notification manager, you won't get it. That's the biggest pro tip. That's the pro tip. I reveal when? Who said that? Was that a joke? Hello, made it from Vietnam. What's up, Michael? Michael H over in Vietnam. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Moderator bot too strict. You have no idea why it's blocking some posts. I don't know what I have no idea. YouTube does some weird stuff. In general, though, everyone who has a wrench, in general, if YouTube filters it, let it be filtered. Unless there's like clearly nothing even arguably objectionable. If YouTube filters it, that's because YouTube wants to filter it. And YouTube is the judge, jury, and executioner of this platform. They are this channel's god and sole boss. So I typically like to appease it. Looks super sus. 62%, 600 votes, 62% of us. The interesting part to me is the 13% that say it's good. I want to know why. I want to know what the reasoning is. What's up, Greedy021? What's up, Amir Abdelmalik? Subscribed, you demand. Armando Garcia also subscribed. One by one, boys. We're getting to 100K. Slow pickings. Marika, super chat 6 euros. Where F hi, Tom? Long seen, please analyze A0. I've never heard of A0. We don't typically do charts like requests for dollars. But I've never heard of it. Let's see if it's on TradingView. It is on TradingView. Not on any major exchange. Only one spot market exists, it seems. Well, that's not what I expected. This looks very illiquid. Really isn't going to be much we can do with this. These wicks show me illiquidity. They suggest a lack of liquidity. Maybe we can like throw a trend line on the bottom wicks here. Say that might be some kind of play. If they get tested. Can probably put a PO on there. We can identify our high. We can identify our low. This just looks like a really illiquid market to me. Though, you know, something positive I'll say is this looks like something that could be This looks like something that could be grid spot traded really well. It doesn't have enough history to say that it will perform well for any amount of time. But from March to April for a month, it's traded between 159 and 120 really consistently. There could be a spot grid play of some kind. I will give it the benefit of the doubt of looking. There's no other spot markets. I don't really care about these perps. A little bit more history on Mexi perps. It looks more liquid on the perpetuals, which makes sense. But being a liquid on spot is not a great thing. Not a great thing. I don't have much to say about it, to be honest. I appreciate your super chat. Marika, I appreciate you being here. Let's say you got resistance at $1.50. You got local support at 135. You got your range, I don't know, total potential pivot at 117 and 185, kind of your all-time high resistance. You're just trading inside of it. You got wicks. This is gonna be difficult to trade. I would imagine it's low market cap. We had a nice little lesson on low market cap earlier. It's ranked 134 actually. 300 million market cap. 3 million 24-hour volume. Yeah, not a lot else to say, but I appreciate you being here. If you're here and you haven't hit the subscribe button, you haven't joined us, join us now. I'll shout you out. Make sure you jump in the Discord. Of course, check out the links in the video description below. Sign up using my links to help support the channel. We have a lot of big news today. If you missed it, if you weren't here at the start of the stream, you will regret it your whole life. If you don't go watch the start of the stream, you'll regret it your entire life. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There was bigly big. 279. Okay, I gained like 30 subscribers today. That's incredibly low. We've done about 100 a day or 100 every stream all throughout the bear market. Interest in crypto right now seems to be at like an all-time low, but that's okay. That's fine. At least you guys are here with me. I'll be here. I was here all through the last bear market. I'll be here through the next bear market. Join the cult, says Pickle. Right on. What's up, Binance Finance? How you doing? Low cap gems can make you money if you get them at the right time. Of course, they can. We always have to be weary of liquidity. But yeah, everything started as a low cap gem, right? I'm much more skeptical of ERC20. That's, if you've watched me for a long time, you know I'm very skeptical of ERC20 because I literally have run the contract to create a token, and you can just in 10 minutes work copy pasting. You can create a token. Then if you have a bunch of money, you can go on a DEX or like a swap, and you can do a Greg said. You can just wash trade yourself on a DEX, and you can make the price go up. The problem is, if you make a big buy, if you enter in, or once enough people enter in, they go to sell. And if I'm that person, I'm not buying those coins. I made them for free. I'm here to take your money, not give you money. You sell and boom, the price just squids. There's no liquidity down, so you can't sell into it. A dedicated video on A0. Yeah, right. Why is it good? You're so kind. Of course. Dude, I love crypto and I love you guys. You going to sleep? See you, Dean. Love you, brother. Get some sleep. Did you know you get shadow banned if you trade real money on YouTube? It's kind of a gray area. It's a gray area. It's not as certain as that because we have not been shadow shanned in quite some time, and it used to happen a lot, and that was before I was trading live. In fact, it's weird. It almost is as if once I started doing it, we didn't get shadow shanned anymore. Spamming DM link. You forgot some crucial info. Open the heat map. Okay, I have instructions from Rico. Under your settings, you'll find heat map. Aggregated heat map? I don't even need to click anything. Open the heat map. I don't see settings, and all I see is aggregated heat map. Rico, I think you gave me a too complicated while Tom stream. Oh, derp, 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 derp. Okay, go to settings. Heat map settings. It's already on. I forgot to tell you 5-minute time frame. I guess I don't do anything here. Oh, that's kind of cool. There we go. This is a lot like Trading Light. So what this is doing is showing you where orders exist. This is Bitfinex aggregated heat map. Why is it Bitfinex Plus? Anyway, showing you where orders are sitting that are visible. This doesn't represent all orders, but it is useful. We'll do more with heat maps in the future. Just looking at this, I would read it as 28,699 to, we'll say it's like 28.7. We have some orders there. When orders become dense, price tends to move there for liquidity. When orders are light, like honestly we see above us, not nearly as many orders, we do tend to see price move to those, or in that direction, to engineer liquidity. I guess that's confusing because I said both. But kind of standing out to me is this big block at 31.2 disappeared after the drop. And just recently, this order at 28.7 appeared. We'll look more into them. Settings next time. We're gonna get more into that. Actually, I'm actually literally talking to Trading Light today, so we'll be getting more into heat maps. Oh show. Oh man, I'm tired. You know what? Since the bot's been spamming that we were gonna do a giveaway, I feel obligated. So let me pull up the giveawayer machine. These are chosen by pickawinner.co. We're just going to pick one. I'm going to pick it. I send the number to my Fair Desk affiliate manager, and then they tell me if it's eligible or not. Blue Skies. Right on, Blue Skies. Good spice today, said Blue Skies. Congrats, Blue Skies is our winner. $100. $100 on Fair Desk. All you have to do is sign up using my link in the video description below. And then after this live stream, to be eligible for the next one, when the live stream is over, put a comment just like Blue Skies did, saying whatever you want, and then your user ID. It is a 6-number thing. You just go to the little profile icon, click it. There's literally a copy paste button next to your user ID. That's it. You comment on the stream after it's done. So whenever I hit end stream, let me send that to the affiliate. Oh my God. Wow. I have a list of all of the ineligible user IDs now. Someone made a lot of accounts. If you make a bunch of accounts to try to abuse it, they'll know and they won't let you in. It's like, I don't know, they just won't. It just won't. But there we go. Blue Skies, my man. Hopefully you aren't one of those user IDs. You are the winner. Bitcoin's being chillin'. Chat's being chillin'. Does YouTube censor the eggplant? Nope. Though YouTube does, apparently it does not like 420, which is weird because it in no way censors it. But I tried to name our thumbs up icon 420, and it said that this emoji was in violation of the community guidelines. So I renamed it. You'll notice if you type in 419, it works. Didn't have a problem with it. Didn't have a problem with 419. It's emoji sensitive. Disable and re-enable notifications. Probably not a bad idea, Connor. You didn't get in one either today. That's okay. You know what? Enough with this PEPE poll. Let's do it this way. Did anyone get a notification? There you go. Answer the poll. Did you get a notification today? Did anybody? Yes, no, no, but I have them off. That's fine if you have them off. I don't care. I just want to see the percentage of people who usually get them if they didn't get them. You did. You got one. Yeah. Yeah. It's no biggie, babe. What's up, Zohabe Magul? You hate dips. Man, you got to have the dips if you want to have the rips. You know how it goes. Whiter Shins Balderdash. 4,200 divided by 10. I was thinking about doing, what was it? Nah, I like 419. I think it's the snarkiest. What's up, B Team Crypto? Bass Coning financial advice. Can you give me some financial advice, Bass Coning? I need some. Chinggis, what's up, bruh? What's up? Michael, asking a streamer to do their homework. Welcome to the age of entitlement. We only had a 10 plus character ID. No. Nope. Nope. Disagree. One sec. I'm gonna make sure it's not gonna give away any info. I knew it was gonna do that. Knew it was gonna freaking pop up info that I don't want on the stream. I can't copy and paste it. Or I can't screen grab it. No, when you log into Fairdesk, in the top right, there's a little circle with like a little person image in it. If you click that, you will see the following: the email you registered with. Underneath that, it will say user ID. Then it will have a 6-digit number that has a copy paste button next to it. Underneath that, it will say your verified or VIP level. Under that, will say deposit or transfer. Just the 6 numbers, baby. You're not participating, but good luck. Good luck. Fairdesk can take everyone. Short for today, ultra bullish tomorrow. Could be. Why do people ask is whatever about to pump? Do your homework. You know, if you do your homework, how are you supposed to know if it's going to pump? You never know. You can guess. Stanky. Started watching 2 years ago. Back then, you just lurk. Wondered what the blockchain backer lookalike with better hair was doing. Oh, thank you, my friend. Actually, I wonder, can you tell me, Stanky, since you watched blockchain backer, when did the glasses become part of his brand? Because to my knowledge, I was the first one in crypto. Like you look at Alex Becker, he started doing it, I don't know, like a year after I did. Veggie cigarettes. Ew, that's a weird. You can ask me whatever you want. I can't give you financial advice. I can tell you my opinion. I can tell you what I'd do. It's because you're baked. Right, I don't remember. I was the first by far, says Craig. I believe I was. Like, we were doing the shades almost 4 years ago. No, I don't hate, man. Anybody can wear shades. I don't own shades. I'm just saying. Just like the FOMC meetings. Wearing shades in crypto while streaming. Both original ideas right here. What's my opinion on mushrooms? Well, mushrooms are a healthy fungi in a diet full of vitamins and nutrients. He has no issue on his face. Either way, Kyle. Like, I don't know. I've watched Blockchain Backer before. Like, I've tuned in. Seems like a legit dude. He likes XRP a little bit too much for me. Michael H is making a behind-the-scenes creation for core contributors in the space. He wants to interview me. Michael, you can interview me anytime, baby. You're the... You guys crack me up. You crack me up. Is Render a good hold? Lazaro Alberto. I don't know, crap. I don't know anything about Render. I've done the chart before. We had a really good hit on it. I don't know anything about it. As a coin, no idea. So 49% of us did get notifications that expected them. About a third of us didn't. It's weird. I don't know why. Who knows? Who knows? That's a great reason to be in the Discord. You'll always get a ping there. No one can Batoshan us from it. A0 is faster than Sol. New Ethereum maybe, says Marika. No notifications for the stream. Thank you. Appreciate your super chats. I don't know crap about A0. What's your opinion on pegging? Well, the won is pegged to the dollar. USDT is pegged to the dollar. Shades are for laser eyes. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Ali, fancy seeing you here on your channel. I know. Well, again, last time. You will be shocked. If you have not seen the start of the stream, you will absolutely be shocked if you go watch the start of it. It'll blow your mind. I guarantee it. You guys know I never say that. You will not expect what you will see. I want to shout out to our sponsors, Fair Desk, Market Cypher. Also, make sure you subscribe and jump in the Discord, guys. Bitcoin is just basically where we're waiting for it to be. Keep your eyes. Keep your eyes on this pattern. It's pretty easily invalidated. I'm saying 28.3 below there invalidation. Certain invalidation below 27.2. Outside of that, I'm just waiting, just following the waves, man. I'm not going to confirm or deny what it is at the start of the stream that'll shock you, but it might be that I reveal that my dad is Chirpow, but it might not be. It might not be. It isn't that, but that would be shocking as well. Yeah, probably if you have like a lot of notifications on for a lot of channels, you might not get them all. That makes sense. All right, guys, this has been a hell of a stream. I love you all. We've been live 2 hours. It's time to go. Jump in the Discord. Sign up using my links below. Check them out. Look at the video description. Comment your user IDs for Fair Desk. After this ends, who can do it first? Cheers, fam. Crown out.